Hello, I'm here with Anthropomatic and we're having a bit of a chill stream at the moment. But one thing I think would be interesting to discuss is soundtracks in horror movies, because Anthro done a really interesting tag, the horror rock tag, and how important I think it. I think visual effects, acting, there's a lot of elements to go into a horror movie, but I think quintessential is music, and like if if you look at a lot of horror movies, they're they have so many there's so many iconic tunes. The Halloween tune, the Friday the 13th tune. Music is, if you pardon the pun, instrumental in making a good horror movie. Andrew, what's your take? How do you kind of collate music with a horror? What would you think is the big kind of like the big thing for you for making a horror kind of instrumental in making an atmospheric and intense horror?
Well, like you said, you mentioned movies like Halloween. I think the movies that really tend to stick in people's brains are the ones that have a really recognizable theme to them that comes up. Halloween, Jaws, Psycho, Suspiria, all of those have like an instantly recognizable and fairly simple theme within their music that when it comes up, you're like, oh my God, what's about to happen?
Again, like with Dario Argento movies, Dario Argento worked with goblins, the
Mm,
the 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 goblins doing the score, and it's like it's the music is a character in its own light in the movie,
yeah.
and as you were saying, Jaws, like the do 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 do, it's like a character upon itself. What do you think? For you, what are the best examples of like when even dare I say where a soundtrack even surpasses the movie that it represents?
Well, honestly, for me, I actually heard the Suspiria soundtrack before I actually saw the movie and fell in love with that first. I had I had just been on like a list of best horror soundtracks and I clicked on the Suspiria theme and was immediately just in love. And so I had to go
Yeah,
see the movie.
again, Suspiria is a classic, but I think for a lot of people, myself included, things an extent, it's very hit and miss. It's very kind of I don't know how I describe it, but it's very it's a very avant-garde movie. But
Mm-hmm.
one thing that you can't fault with it is the soundtrack. The soundtrack
Exactly.
is impeccable.
Yeah.
Like um, I again. I probably reckon her head talking about like fucking Alien Tree. Elliot Goldenthal's score for Alien Tree, magnificent. I don't know, would it be in the realm of horror, but Alan Silvestri on Predator,
Mm.
like that as well. You just there's music that's so iconic it almost transcends the movie. And again, like I'm trying to think where there was a horror movie that had lots of potential, but it was let down by a kind of subpar soundtrack. It's never really the reverse. I don't think I've ever come across a good horror movie with a lame soundtrack. Can you think of any off the top of
Uh,
your head? Or
well, a lot of the older movies I tend to review tend to use a lot of stock music, which I think it tends to be a letdown. Even when the movie is decent. A lot of like 40s Universal movies, you'll hear the exact same theme in movies that have no connection to each other whatsoever. And it gets a little bit, okay, this thing again. So there's not really a big distinction between the soundtracks of the movies because it's literally the same cues in every horror movie they're putting out.
I like I'm trying to think of a horror movie that was ruined by its its soundtrack. I I again I was going to say I was going to say something, and I'll probably get a bollocking off you. Bram Stoker's Dracula, Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. I love the soundtrack, but if someone else join us, Jason. Hey, Jason.
Hi, how you doing, everybody?
We're good. We're just talking about horror movie soundtracks,
Ooh, cool.
and I was just about to say to Antro, right?
Yeah.
That like again, and I know they were doing something different with that movie. But for me, the soundtrack for Bram Stoker's Dracula, Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, it's more romantic and it's gothic. It's definitely gothic. It captures the gothic theme. But the music never made me feel uneasy, or it never kind of
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But what's your opinion? Like, I know you can counter me on this.
Well, if you'll excuse me for just a moment, I have a couple things I need to grab.
Okay.
Well, I think it's like a theatrical movie with a theatrical score. You know what I mean? I mean, it's operatic in this way it's portrayed. You know what I mean? Someone like that in the score. I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but I enjoyed the movie. You know what soundtrack I liked? Oh, I don't have the soundtrack. You know what soundtrack I like? I like the soundtrack to Demons. The Bob movie. That was awesome.
That was an amazing soundtrack. Okay, so I'm about to be schooled by Antro. Antro hit me with as many bullet points on how fucking rotten I am.
Well, I think you're right in that it doesn't really make you uneasy, but again, it was more. It was a gothic horror movie, but with a lot more emphasis on the gothic than the horror. It was more about the gothic romance aspect, which in some ways I'm not sure how I feel about, because they take the Count, who is this total, just pure thing of evil in the book, and
he's vastly. They make him such a sympathetic character that you almost feel like shit when he dies in the end. Again, I'm going to back you up on one aspect. I'm going to back you before I let you fucking totally slaughter me. I'll let you back. As far as this and the soundtrack to Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein goes, I can at least remember the Bram Stoker's Dracula soundtrack. Well, I can't fucking recollect a single track from the Branagh Frankenstein. Can you?
No, I can't. No. I can't, honestly.
I've only seen that movie once, though.
Like the one track I love from that movie, even though I don't think, as I said, I don't know if it works as a horror score, is she was with Annie Lennox, Love Song for a Vampire. There's a haunting melody to it, but it doesn't invoke fear, whereas music in certain movies invokes fear. Even non-sinister music, like what's the one where the kid gets? Is it Insidious? Where they play Tiny Tim's Tiptoe Through the Tulips, and it's like that works so well, and it's not even meant to be a sinister song. But anyway, Andrew, go on, fucking deliver the killing blow on why I'm wrong.
All right, so
it's super creepy.
Yeah, Love Song for a Vampire and everything. It's a gothic romance story, which maybe it shouldn't be. I'm not sure, because they don't change any of the plot points in the movie. The Count's doing all the horrible stuff he does in the book. They just try to make it romantic. But I kind of fall into that because I love dark stuff, and I think it works not as a horror movie, but it's a perfect gothic soundtrack, and it is pretty memorable.
Again, you don't forget it. There's a musical snare. I don't know whether it could be on both occasions, where the Demeter, the section on the ship, the Demeter, and where Dracula is stalking Mina's friend Lucy, and it's I can't. I'm not able to hum it, but you know the one I'm talking about. It's really low and sinister. That's as close as it gets. But I've never I've never felt that there was any real menace from the score.
Yeah, and I think the tune you're thinking of is like the da 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 da.
Yes, yeah. It does a fantastic job. Like, but I don't know how to explain it. We're going into a different realm, and okay, connected by the movie. For example, when you're playing Alien Isolation and you're being hunted by the alien, there is this musical score when it gets closer. And I know you can't do that in the movie, but I think it's clever in a way. You know you're in danger, and I think something like that can be easily translated into a movie. Even a red herring kind of job, where the music plays, it turns out it isn't the creature, and then the creature kills you. I like that, because music can also be used as a tool to basically to raise your fucking guard, and then when the music cue ends, you're like, okay, everything's all right, but then then you get killed. I think maybe examples of that would be in
Jaws.
Friday the 13th.
And Jaws.
Sorry, Jason?
Oh, and Jaws also.
Yeah.
I mean, because, like, what's a shark supposed to sound like? And that sounds like a shark, I guess. That's in memory. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's Demon Knight's opening scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I not a bad soundtrack. I don't. It wouldn't be the one to fucking. If I heard the tune, I wouldn't be uneasy. I wouldn't like. Unless, for example, the classic one is the kind of the Halloween soundtrack. I mean, again, that I get goosebumps listening to that.
Oh yeah, that's so cool. Remember seeing Halloween Theater when they played that theme song whenever he was shipping them in the. I think they were asked in the transfer or something like that. I remember they were shipping them and they played that song in Halloween 4.
Mr. Sandman.
What's that? No, the other theme song.
Oh, okay.
Remember that one guy from I can't remember his name. They were going to transfer him to another prison or something like that. He was like in a gurney or something like that with a thing over his head. When they shipped him, they played that theme music to Halloween, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I like. Sorry, Antro, go on, dude.
Oh, I was gonna say, when you brought up Friday the 13th, when it comes to fake out scares, the thing I like about that is, the thing you really remember from the soundscape of that movie is even more so than the soundtrack, the little key ma 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 whispery sounds, and they do a lot of fake out scares in the franchise, but they only use the little key sting when it's actually Jason or his mom.
Yeah. I again, that was so clever, because you probably be able to explain it better than me, Andrew, but the way that tune, it's like, is it ma 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 or kill or which?
Yeah. It's key ma ma ma, but it's basically just sort of supposed to echo kill her mommy.
Again, it's I think that if someone asked me, again, I'm not fucking Andrew, you probably be better qualified to meet. If someone said, "Hey, what do you think the most important thing when making a horror film is?" I think the music. I think if you can solidify your soundtrack, or if you can solidify the score, and everything else falls into place, you've got a good start. You know. What do you think? Like horror, like the horror remakes, the Platinum Dune fucking soundtracks. I've never, they're forgettable. It's like, why? I'm trying to think, why do you think like a lot of modern things with movies now, things like posters and trailers, there's not half as much effort put into them as there was back in the 80s, the 70s and 80s. So do you think that's the same with kind of soundtracks and scores? Would you agree, or do you think no, there is some decent modern stuff out there?
Well, let me think. There, I feel like there are some decent modern horror soundtracks, but a lot of times when you watch a trailer or like a modern, especially like the paranormal and demon possession movies, they kind of resort to the same tricks every time with like the dissonant strings rising up to a crescendo and just notes held out.
The screechy kind of, the screechy kind of fucking strings. I mean, it is. Is it a cop? Would you say it's just a copy and paste, a kind of thing, just to avoid having to fucking spend money on making something new or even experimental, or making something interesting? You know?
Yeah. I feel like they've just sort of been like, oh, this works. This scares you.
Or even experimental, or making something interesting. Oh, what the hell? Sorry.
Sorry, I know that was me. I was trying to. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I thought it was my cat. Don't worry about it, Jason. But Andrew, if you had to kind of cite a criticism on a film score, is there any that you think is like a major offender?
Let me think. There's one movie I reviewed recently, which I really didn't like the film score. It was one where usually when I review a movie, I'll either really like the score or I'll be like, it was okay. It was kind of stocky, but whatever. With Don't Look in the Basement, the exploitation movie from the 70s, the soundtrack to that is terrible. It sounds like they took stock music for like the wrong kind of film. It sounds like it was like for like I compared sections of it to like the soundtrack to like a Charlie Brown kids special.
I do know, and maybe Jason, because you're a man of traveled years. Grindhouse cinema. When Grindhouse movies were released, you'd get horror movies that didn't have a score, so they'd end up pulling a score off a porno. So you'd like have someone killed, and then you'd have fucking Mexican fucking tin drums as someone's getting fucking garroted or something. Like that was the case, wasn't it, Jason? That fuck it, this is cheap and dirty. We'll just fucking glue it onto this, like, you know.
I still like the original score to Dr. Butcher MD better than I don't like the remade Zombie Holocaust as much as the old Grindhouse Dr. Butcher MD. I think that was better. I don't know what you guys think about that. Honestly, that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, honestly, what I'd say with a lot of those Grindhouse movies is there's something to be said for a disturbing horror movie without a soundtrack. There are horror movies I could cite that use silence in a way that is far more disturbing than a soundtrack.
I remember Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 3 did that. I don't know. Did you like that one with Bill Moseley? One with Robert Culp, but that was a guy who had he had a bubble head or something like that, and you see his brain, and there's. You remember the guys? Remember that one?
I can vaguely remember it, and again, from that movie, the lack of score kind of the lack of score. Jennifer is joining us, I think. Hey, Jen.
Hi.
Hi.
Jen, your volume. I think you need to adjust the speaker or something. No matter. Are you sure? Are you sure you're okay? I hope I wasn't fucking strong arming you into coming on now, because I know your leg is broken. Okay. There's a bit of feedback on your computer. Sorry.
I had a Don't Look in the Basement. Now, was that part where that guy did?
And on one second, sorry about this. Jen, would you mute the actual? Oh, about soundtracks. Would you mute the volume on the laptop, maybe? Yeah, we can hear you a bit better.
Hear you a little bit. Uh-oh.
Sorry, Jen. It's like an echo chamber.
Is there an echo in here?
Yeah. No, not to you. I think Jen is watching the video while chatting.
That's a mistake I always used to make.
Yeah, it's no biggie. But Antro, going back to what you were saying there, I'm gonna try something 1 second, okay? Jen, can you hear that? What were you gonna say there, Antro?
I was gonna say that going back to silence in horror movies,
Yeah.
the original Frankenstein and the original Dracula both from 1931, aside from opening music, no score at all just really dreary sound effects, and it's just as memorable without those. Even though I like the later movies that have soundtracks maybe a little bit better, those worked with no music.
Yeah. You know what else I thought was really good at soundtracks? Goblin. And those old.
They were fantastic.
Oh, Goblin was so good. Alien Contamination, I love that movie. And then like the Argento films. And of course Dawn of the Dead too. Those are good movies.
I think it was the case that was Romero and Argento were good friends, so they kind of they'd bounce between using goblins, I think.
Yeah, I mean it was cool with Dawn of the Dead, and the weird thing was in Italy that was called Zombie, and then when Fulci came out with Zombie, it was called Zombie 2 in Italy. So it's always kind of weird, Zombie and Zombie 2. And then they had Zombie 3 came out. He did the sequel with Zombie 3 when it really wasn't technically a Zombie 2, And then, I'm sorry.
No. Keep going. Keep going. I'm trying to stop. I'm trying to get Jen on without the sound kind of double basing.
Because I can be on till I got to leave in about 13 minutes. I mean, I got a lot of stuff to do, but
no. Jeez, I'm not clearing your answer.
I want to stop on to support my buddies. I never seen you before. Anthro, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Jennifer. Okay.
This Antro has his first year on YouTube. Antro, do you want to know an interesting fact about Jason? And Jason can back me up on this. Jason, tell Antro what kind of arachnid you ate.
I ate a zebra tarantula that someone sent me in a can. I ate it in a video a couple years back. And it was
that's
really
how bastard hard Jason is. The man eats fucking spiders for dinner.
Yep. I had crickets too that one time, mealworms. They were all sent to me. People sent to me. Well, because they were sent to me and stuff like that. Well, for the video too. Well, I felt bad. The girl sent the spider and she's like, well, you don't have to eat it if you don't want to. And then, I mean, it took me a long time to work my nerve up. And she spent like $24 for it in a little can. So I said, I'm going to eat it. But I was really proud of myself after I did, though. It was all I had all the hair on it and stuff like that. It was really weird.
Was it alive?
Yeah.
No, it was
fried.
It was like dehydrated. Well, not somewhat dehydrated. It was still spongy. The body was still spongy, though.
Oh, gosh.
I know it was.
Why are we going here again?
Sorry. No. But no, well, considering the amount of fast food you've tried out, if you can survive eating the spider, you can survive eating one of those horrible chicken sandwiches from Wendy's.
Yeah, that's true. It could be on your life, buddy. Well, I mean, I think Goblin was really good at doing soundtracks too. Did you guys like Alien Contamination? There's so many damn movies out there, and sometimes they fall through the cracks and stuff. You know who'd be cool to get on your live stream? What if we get Elvira on there? Wouldn't that be neat?
That would be cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Okay, I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Going back to Goblin and Suspiria.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I actually saw Claudia Simonetti do the Suspiria soundtrack live with the movie.
That's awesome!
Just in a local club here that had sort of Demonia, Claudia Simonetti's Goblin band in there,
cool.
And yeah, they played the whole soundtrack and then a set of songs from other movies, which was amazing.
Oh, that sounds cool. I'd like to see that. Was the remake of Suspiria any good?
I couldn't finish it because the horror was too gnarly for me.
It was as bombastic as the original. That's all I could say.
Okay.
The original was confusing in one sense, and this was confusing in a whole other sense.
Oh, I have to check it out.
Yeah,
it's
a lot.
What's that? It's a lot.
Oh, it's a lot bleaker and sort of muted in its like color scheme and just overall atmosphere than the original is, which has sort of this colorful fairy tale feel. This one is just like bleak, historically accurate, like middle of Germany type deal.
I'll have to check it out. My one friend said he saw it in the theater. He said he was bored out of his mind, but I'll have to check it out eventually.
It's definitely, yeah. I couldn't finish it. It's definitely a slow burn, and then when the gore hits, it's really, really disgusting. There's a contortion scene that is way too much for me. It's burned into my brain.
Speaking of slow burns, what about Midsommar? Did you like that? Some people hated it.
Midsommar
did you like? Really uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but really good.
Okay. I know a lot of people hated the Babadook too. I don't know. Did you guys like that or not?
I enjoyed it.
I haven't seen the Babadook.
So many people hate that movie. It's like The Witch and Midsommar. I guess people hate Midsommar too. I had a bunch of people saying that it was just boring and stuff, but I thought it was fascinating. And I saw a longer, almost a 3-hour version of that, and I liked it as well.
I think there is kind of a resurgence of kind of avant-garde horror cinema.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, the great thing about horror is like there's a kind of, there's so many different kind of I don't know if I'd use the term factions, but there's so many different kind of tastes you can have in horror, and it caters to so many people, you know.
Oh yeah, I see some. I saw a couple last week. I saw Dead Detectives, which I liked. I saw what was that one? I saw the documentary about Larry Cohen. That was great. And I saw Revenge. Revenge was awesome. I don't know if you ever saw Revenge. That was the one from 2 years ago.
Seen that one.
That's really good.
I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
What's the plot? Without any spoilers, Jason, can you give us the over kind of?
It's something like this guy flies this girl to his place. I guess he's married or something like that, and they fool around or something like that. And then I don't know if he's involved. I don't know if he's involved with the cartel or something like that. And two of his buddies come over. Then when he was gone, they rape her. Well, one guy does, and then.
They end up. It's kind of like, it's basically First Blood, except instead of John Rambo, it's this kind of fucking chick who'd be on. She'd be a cheerleader. She'd be a character on Glee.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, but real serious. I liked it. I thought it was awesome. Did
you guys watch a movie called The Bad Batch?
The Bad Batch?
Yeah.
Maybe.
What?
I have to look it up.
Have you seen it, Antro?
I have to look. Is Roddy Piper in that, or is that a different one?
No. What?
I didn't catch the name of it. What was it?
The Bad Batch. Basically, this girl in 20 years from now in the future, there's small little fucking settlements across the Nevada desert, and this girl has her arm and leg removed by cannibals, and she has to cross the desert on a skateboard. She meets up with a gun-toting pimp played by Keanu Reeves, and he builds her a new arm and a new leg to kill these cannibals, and the head of the cannibals is Jason Momoa.
Oh, I want to see that. I haven't seen that one. But I think there was one called The Bad Batch with an old action film, Roddy Piper, I think.
No, the guy who made the movie done a movie with a soundtrack you have to check out, Antro, called A Girl Walks Home. A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. It's an Israeli vampire movie.
I've been meaning to see that movie forever and ever. Oh my god, I've been meaning to see that forever. I see it on all these like best like artsy vampire movies lists. So, I'm just like, yes, give me
Jason,
now.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie yet?
No, I haven't seen The Bad Batch.
No. A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. Have you seen that?
No, I think John was telling me, but I've not seen that one.
Okay, so imagine you cross the Sergio Leone restaurant with a vampire movie set in Israel.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's crazy. It's brilliant.
Did you like Mandy? Mandy was awesome. Did you like Mandy with Nicolas Cage?
I loved it. Antro is the man to talk about though.
That movie.
It's awesome. There's a part where the guy's head cut off and it's on fire and he puts up and he lights a cigarette with it. It was so funny. That was awesome. And then he did one called Color Out of Space, which I really like too.
That's amazing. That's based on a short story by H.P. Lovecraft and it's directed by Richard Stanley, who also directed the movie I suggested you check out, Antro, Hardware.
And Dust Devil.
Yeah. I haven't seen Dust Devil. I can't get it in Region 2 whatsoever. It isn't available in any Region 2 format.
Well, when I first saw it, I first saw Hardware. I was in Germany, right? And Germany is really weird because they don't have as much press about movies as we do in the States, except if it was on Inside Edition. No, not Inside Edition. What was that? Hollywood. The one that Mary Hart used to be on. I can't remember. Hollywood Tonight or something like that. And they talked about that, and it's controversial because it was going to get an X rating. I remember renting it. Seeing the R-rated version. I really liked it. Hardware. And then I heard he did Dust Devil I saw on Cinemax a couple years later.
Again, with Hardware, the soundtrack is so fucking the soundtrack of Hardware is a character in itself in the movie.
Yeah.
It puts you in the setting of this really industrial, grimy, post-apocalyptic shithole, and it sounds like a fucking rock band is trying to fuck a piece of industrial machinery. That's the only way I can attest to it. But I think I sent you, Antro. I sent you a couple of links to the tunes. So yeah, I must actually send you a copy of that movie.
But. What, hit them when they're up, hit them when they're down, hit them when they're up, hit them when, or something like that. Remember?
No. It's this is what you want. This is what you get.
Yeah, that.
It's public limited. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, and also Ministry did a little bit of a Stigmata song on there too, which I thought was cool.
And
nice.
Who was the guy?
You said.
Go on.
You said it was. Like Carl McCoy from Fields of the Nephilim is in that movie.
He does an opening track for that film, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool.
Ooh, what song? I might know it.
I need to fucking double check, but his character basically finds the robot, and I think he asked if he could do his own kind of intro to the fucking movie.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm going pirate. No, but again, as far as soundtracks go, there's plenty of interesting horror ones. But I think the good ones are the ones that we remember. Again, like the fucking Friday the 13th or the Halloweens.
I like the soundtrack. Oh, the Day of the Dead. I don't mean to interrupt.
No. Keep going.
Yes.
No, I like the soundtrack Day of the Dead and also the Thing from '82. I remember buying.
Come here, Jason. That's the fucking maestro. That's Ennio Morricone.
Oh yeah.
If you don't like Ennio Morricone, you deserve a fucking death sentence. I would throw you into the fucking ocean if you told me you didn't like Ennio Morricone. Like again, and what really fucking annoys me, because Morricone didn't like him. Tarantino stole so much unused music for The Thing. And what was the other fucking movie? He had worked on another horror movie, and I do know that a majority of The Thing's unused music made its way into the Hateful Eight. Particularly, I can't remember the track.
Also, John Carpenter is very good at doing soundtracks. And most people don't remember that; they remember as the director. Yes, remember They Live? One of my favorite movies, Roddy Piper.
And go on, Andrew. You're beaming to say something.
Okay, so when it comes to John Carpenter soundtracks, In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh yeah, I've only seen that once. I gotta see it more than once though.
I heard an urban legend that they wanted to get Metallica for the opening of the movie, the opening track of the movie. They couldn't get them, but they kind of replicated a kind of Metallica kind of fucking.
It sounds a little bit like Enter Sandman, but
it's
not. Give me just a sec.
Okay. Take your time.
Okay, I'm gonna have to leave right now. I'm sorry, I got other stuff I have to do.
Jason, come here. It was an absolute pleasure having you, and thanks for coming on.
Thank you, buddy.
And if you get a chance, check out this fantastic young man's channel as well. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely check Anthrofiends channel too. Thank you very much, guys. It's awesome being on.
Jason. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
But just go on. You were going to say.
So in the Mouth of Madness, the theme for that movie sounds a whole lot like Enter Sandman, just in the way it's kind of structured and played, but with John Carpenter synths. And since I've watched that movie, it's been stuck in my head for almost a month, and I've been trying to learn it on guitar. And the movie itself is just amazing, but I'm addicted to the soundtrack to that specific movie as well. I just love everything about that movie.
The thing is, like, with Carpenter himself composed music, so you're never, even on Carpenter's weaker movies, I don't think you're ever going to, even in Vampires, there's a really cool classical kind of Leone-esque score. You're never going to get a weak fucking soundtrack on a Carpenter movie, and that's just what I think. Like, you know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look at a movie like Ghosts of Mars. Even a movie
like that. Yeah.
You got freaking Anthrax to do that soundtrack.
It's an amazing soundtrack. Fun fact: apparently, the head kind of space cannibal was they were trying to negotiate Marilyn Manson, but Manson had some concert or something fucking planned, so he didn't get to star enough. But yeah, again, as you said, Ghosts of Mars, fucking a really subpar fucking movie. But I digress. An amazing soundtrack. Going on. Okay, I'm going to do a bit of a leap here now. What do you think of the state of horror posters? Like, do you think we're when it comes to, or is this out of your realm, or would you?
No. It really does depend on the movie, because in some ways I like sort of the visuals that you get out of some posters for sort of the paranormal movies. I just like that sort of gothic type visual, but then it's always a letdown with so many of the movies. But then other movies,
for example, something I didn't like that was a trend in the 90s when Scream came out with a lot of slasher movies, the archetype type of poster was like all your young screen starlets, all your teen fucking starlets at the top.
Mm-hmm.
sepia red or sepia in the fucking background, and then just the title. And I was like, okay, that for me was the death of a horror poster. Like I remember going into VHS stores and looking at the box art and thinking, my God, again, like with the music, the movie could be shit, but the artwork is what was what sold it. Like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like I have an appreciation for like most different eras of horror posters because they do have a different vibe. Even with that trend in the 90s, there is some sort of a strange appeal for that style of poster for me. I don't know why I like it, but there's just something like oddly like with the Scream poster, something oddly comforting about that style to me.
It is. It's just for, again, the first Scream poster and the I Know What You Did Last Summer poster. Those early posters were good, but they started a bad trend. They started a bad habit, and again, like you look at even the posters for the Universal horror movies. I mean, some of them were fucking like glories. Some of them were gorgeous, like, you know.
I've got a few of those hanging up in my room. I love those posters so much.
They're come here. Did you ever end up doing a room tour or a fucking your collection tour with you?
I've been meaning to forever. I'm gonna have to do that this summer.
Hell or high fucking water. I want to see your collection, sir, because I know you and you'd have like a nice collection of stuff. But yeah, no, just I don't want to be an old curmudgeon and say like, oh, things were better back in the day, posters and music were better, because there is some really inventive and creative fucking horror movie posters and horror movie soundtracks out there. I think with horror there was more leeway because you could spend very little and you were guaranteed an audience. When people came up and decided to make a horror movie, you know when you make a horror movie, people are going to go see it. The plot could be contrived, the plot could be shit, but you know you're going to see it. So basically, in kind of regards to budgets and stuff, that money that was saved from kind of going all in, whereas a bigger budget movie might be, that money could go towards a soundtrack or a poster and stuff. And I think Hollywood are so penny pinching now that in certain cases we're not going to get that. We're not going to see like Drew's an End kind of posters. Like I think Drew's done the poster for the original Tin poster, and that was amazing. And he done a bunch of other kind of fantastic movie posters. And like, do you think that okay, at the end of the day, do you think you need something that is big and flashy, or if you get like, again, simple posters also work. Like I think Wes Craven's The Last House on the Left, the original 70s poster, was just black background with remember to tell yourself it's only a movie, it's only a movie, it's only a movie. And that is like the base. That is like pure clickbait before clickbait was a thing. And Jen, what was your favorite 80s movie poster? Even doesn't have to be a horror one, because I know you like kind of Porky's or Screwball-esque comedy kind of posters. Antro, while we're waiting for Jen to answer, what's your favorite movie poster, horror or otherwise?
Oh Jesus, that's really hard. God, I'm starting to blank, but let me think. I'm trying to think of a movie poster that just really appealed to me. I really like the original Suspiria poster, just with the ballerina with the blood dripping down.
Yeah, it's the thing is that poster's cool because like you could frame it and put it up in the London Gallery, and it'd pass for no one would think to double check it, because it actually looks like and I'm not saying other posters aren't, but it looks like a quote unquote legitimate piece of art, which I think was cool.
Another one I would say though that I like that's a modern one would be the poster for The Witch, just with the silhouette of the girl on the woods, because it implies a witch. But once you've actually seen the movie, you realize who it's actually supposed to be that's silhouetted, and you're like, oh shit.
Like, I think there are so many clever kind of things with posters. I like the poster. The poster for Midsummer that we got over here was a close up of Florence Pugh crying, and
Yeah.
I don't know. To me that was kind of a spoiler. I don't know why. It gave away the ending, but again, it didn't give away too much either, though.
I don't think so, though. It tells you, oh, she's going to be at this Midsummer Festival, and it's going to be a miserable time. And she is crying throughout the whole movie. And you know, going into the movie, the Midsummer Festival's happening. You just don't know that that's going to be again, when you look back at it in retrospect, you know where it fits.
I love the fact that that movie is the only movie I can think that has the most harrowing, upbeat ending of a movie. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Yeah. Would you agree with me that it has a harrowing but very positive ending to the movie?
Yeah, that's
she finds real friends. She finds people who accept her and care for her more than any shitty boyfriend.
Yep. I think Ari Aster actually phrased it as, they're all lovely people that just happen to be involved in this horrible death cult.
Yeah, it's again, I just the bit with your man, the Irish actor Jack Ryder, where he's stitched into the bear and paralyzed, and you're like, that's like someone took the ending of The Wicker Man and just injected it with adrenaline. It's just like, you like The Wicker Man's, and then, well, we have something for fucking you, and it's like off the butt.
It's like they tried to homage the original and the Nicolas Cage version in the most brutal way possible.
Yeah, do you think it was like Aster was like, oh fuck the Nicolas Cage remake, by literally having a guy burnt to death in a bear suit? And Jen's two favorite posters are Troll and Revenge of the Nerds. If I had to pick my favorite posters, the original Jurassic Park poster, because it's the silhouette of the T-Rex and it tells you nothing, but you know that there's just something cool about it. And the Army of Darkness poster, the European Army of Darkness poster.
Yes, absolutely.
Where it chops Bruce Campbell to the point he looks like he could take on Schwarzenegger. I love how fucking ridiculous that is.
Yeah, that's an iconic poster. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a wicked poster. What?
Oh, I was about to say there's food waiting for me downstairs, so I'm probably gonna have to take a quick break or something.
Cool. I will stick around here for a while more. If I'm still here, I'm still here. If I'm not, I'm not. But Antro, if you do come back and I'm here, you're more than welcome. Do you want to close off and then come back on again? If I'm open, that means it's open, and if not, I'll close off. Like I don't want. I don't want people to be hearing you eating or anything as well in the background.
I can mute myself. It's fine.
Okay, cool. If you want to do that, you can, and I'll see if I can rustle up more people to jump on, and if not, it's not the end of the world. But if I'm still on, definitely you're more than welcome to come back, dude. Okay.
All right, cool.
I'll keep your spot fucking clear, okay? As the man says in the bar, I'll make sure no one steals their spot.
Okay. See ya.
Cool beans. So, like, again, to anyone watching in the chat, is there anything that you think, be it in marketing or in kind of marketing, or other sections of promoting a horror movie that has kind of gone down the shitter in recent years. Like, is there anything that would be kind of what you think is failing the horror genre? Be it soundtracks, be it posters, be it budgetary concerns. Do you think there is anything that kind of really can hinders making a great horror movie? What do you think? Like, I have a couple of people in the chat there. Anything there that you think is kind of taking from horror movies? Is there anything that you would say could be improved upon that has kind of fallen flat over recent years? Like, if so, just, leave your thoughts in the comments, and I will discuss them. I'm going to be here for a while. I'm probably going to stream for another hour. I'm probably going to go till 2 o'clock. So if anyone wants to pop on, you are more than welcome. Might actually see if I can rustle up some more people. So give me 2 seconds. But yeah, again, I think posters are probably something that could be improved upon. There are some great modern posters, but with horror movies, we don't get the really nice, cool kind of posters that we used to get in the 80s and 90s. As I said before, it was kind of like going through the world's best picture book, going through the horror section of my old kind of VHS store. It's something I think that people should kind of look more into. Like, if you're doing a horror movie, maybe if you have a friend who's an artist, maybe yeah, no, that's actually something. You're right, Jen. I'm going to bring that up. If you have a friend who's like an aspiring artist, and if they're really good, maybe fucking splash out the cash and come to some kind of agreement and get a nice cover or a nice poster for your movie. Yeah, Jen pointed out a good thing, that letting too much of the ending in the trailers, if like big spoilers. Like, I like there's not only is there just simple trailers now. There's videos, and it started back in the 2010s, where you were getting the first 5 minutes of a movie, and it's like, what the fuck? Now, usually that was a sign that the studio didn't have faith in the movie, and it essentially released the first 5 minutes of the movie, so people would be like, oh, well, this 5 minutes is cool. I'll go check the whole fucking thing out. Again, it's not a case that you have to fucking show the audience everything. And I'm not bitching about kind of previews or sneak peeks, but keep them to a particular length. For example, the Halloween kill segment. I don't know how I feel about it. I am kind of glad in a way, because I know now 100% Michael isn't coming back via supernatural circumstances. He's coming back because the fire brigade arrived, and it's so simple. It's so simple when you fucking think about it. Because yeah, at the end of horror movies where the haunted house or haunted mansion burns down, there's always the case that fucking that someone's going to turn up and put out the fire, or like, okay, I'm going back to if you're going by Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection, and now this, Laurie Strode must have a major fucking hatred towards the emergency services because at the end of fucking H2O, they were going to cart him off in an ambulance, and he was going to come back, and now the fucking fire brigade are coming to put him out. I mean, fucking the reason he keeps coming back isn't because he's supernatural. It's because the fucking the emergency services are so fucking on the bell with fucking sorting stuff. But yeah, again, sorry, I'm totally deviating. Trailers are way too long. The Terminator trailers, again, not good movies, but for Terminator Salvation and Genesis, one of the big big plot points was that Marcus Wright was a cyborg. That was kind of revealed. And then in Genesis, we found out John Connor was Skynet had been uploaded to him. But yeah, it's just it is weird seeing so much of a fucking movie in a trailer, because Christ, is it even worth it going to see the movie then? I'm trying to think of good fucking trailers that told the Matrix, the original Matrix trailer. I would compare also to Inception. Those trailers showed you so fucking much, but told you nothing, and I think that was fantastic. I think that if a trailer can give a highlight to what makes it so cool, but without revealing an absolute ounce of plot detail, which both those trailers did. Like, I remember watching the Inception trailer thinking that's fucking awesome, and I'm not thinking, Jesus, maybe it's this or maybe it's that. I had no clue. Tenet, the new Christopher Nolan movie. I do know there is time travel in it to an extent, but again, shows you shitload of stuff, but tells you nothing. And I do think that that needs to be employed by fucking people cutting together trailers. Again, you have more kind of regular kind of basic horror movies where the VFW, that all it needs to tell you is, yeah, drug addicts laying siege to a fucking bar versus veterans. It's the trailer. Sometimes the trailer just has to tell you some stuff, but you don't have to fucking show the best bits in the movies. Like, you give people enough just to tease them and make them hungry and make them want to pop in and have an old nibble. If you get a nibble, then you can get them to check out the movie. That's my take on it. The trailers are like, I'm trying to think what was the fucking longest trailer I ever fucking came across. I remember they were releasing multiple trailers for Jurassic World, the first Jurassic World, and it just showed so fucking much. And it even revealed the quote unquote twist with the Raptors communicating with the Indominus. I was like, yeah, you're really blowing your fucking load before I even get to see the movie. Why is that? People in the chat, why do you think that there's so much being shown in the trailers? Is it just they want to be 100% sure that people come check this out? Or do you think it's just the person cutting the trailer isn't good at their job? Okay. John. Or I go to check something out. Any good horror movies? Anyone watching good horror movies at the moment? Jen, did you watch any horror movies while you were laid up with your leg? Anyone else in the chat watching any good horror movies? Again, I put up my review for VFW there. And again, I enjoyed the movie. I don't think we needed crackhead zombies though. I think they went a bit. No, they. You have a point. They don't care anymore. They care about money. They care about money. Act of Vengeance. I gotta check that movie out. Is it good? Is it on Netflix or VOD or is it out in DVD? Because if it's out in VOD, I'll check it out. But trying to think, what other kind of things, shortcomings of cinema is there? Quite a few. Practical effects. I think when people say that, like, oh, you only want practical effects instead of CG, that's not the case. I would never totally substitute CG with practical effects because both have their merits and drawbacks. I think that if CG is done well and used only when it's needed, it's a perfect kind of blend of cinematography. You have the right kind of camera, you have the right lighting. It works really well. But if you start overusing it, like fucking, if you kind of, I think the best example would probably be for me Alien Resurrection, where they first rendered the kind of digital versions of the xenomorphs, and they looked incomplete. And I think that, yeah, they did use practical, but I think there was some scenes they could have used practical. They could have used practical more than they needed CG. Oh, so it's from the 70s, only on VHS. And what would you compare it to, Jen? Would you compare it to something like Death Wish, or They Call Her One Eye, or Lady Snowblood? 70s Grindhouse, and that was something I'd love to fucking check out. 70s Grindhouse, because that was like the drive-in theaters. They were something that were an experience. So yeah, it's a woman's revenge movie. Okay. Did it come out, Jen? Did it come out before or after I Spit in Your Grave? Actually, I'm wondering, was it kind of because I know when horror movies are popular, you get a slew of kind of copycats and stuff like that. Like with the slasher genre in the mid to late 90s, you had all these kind of movies kind of ape on Scream and stuff. But yeah, no, just trying to think what else. As I was saying, with CG, yeah, use CG, but use it in conjunction. Again, Jurassic Park, perfectly. The first Jurassic Park. So it was after, yeah. So it was probably a copycat engine. There was probably a bunch of them because there was a bunch of Last House on the Left copycat movies. I think there was one like House at the End of the Row or fucking Mulberry House or something like that. Well, anyway, yeah. With Fallen Kingdom and Jurassic World, like people were pissed, and rightly so, because there were scenes with not kind of big formidable dinosaurs that you could have used a practical with, and also the dinosaurs didn't match up in different scenes. That's a problem that when there's such a disconnect between the practical creature you're using and the digital creature, that's a pain in the hole. I am dumbfounded that you can even get a trashier version of I Spit on Your Grave. Shit. Actually, Jen, have you seen They Call Her One Eye? They call her One Eye. What was her name? Something. I forget her name. I actually must check it out. Damn you. Full picture. That's the alternate title. Thriller. Full picture. Bah, bah, bah. Christina Lindbergh. Yeah. And have you seen Lady Snowblood actually, Jen? That's something that needs to come back, I think. Revenge movies. Because we did get a bunch of remakes of I Spit in Your... We got fucking a remake of I Spit in Your Grave and 3 or 4 sequels. One of which was an actual sequel to that. And then we got... we got fucking Last House on the Left. And as Jason had mentioned earlier on, we got a newer thing. Collector Man, if you want to pop on, you are more than welcome. I have a link there in the comments, and if you want to jump on, because I'm always willing to chat. I think I could have organized this a bit better because it's a bit spontaneous. So if you want to copy the link and jump on, dude, you're more than welcome. And that goes for anyone else. So long as you are civil and aren't mean to anyone in the chat or aren't mean to anyone that's talking, I'm game. I'm willing to listen to anyone. As long as they're not a dick. I have a non-dick policy here. Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, I suppose Revenge is a throwback to the likes of Last House on the Left, I Spit in Your Grave. Again, that's given the current Me Too movement. I don't think those films would fly, and I'm not gonna give out because I understand, like, female empowerment shouldn't come from a very traumatic event like that. Women don't need to be fucking assaulted to fucking have character development. A couple of years back, if someone was writing a story like that, yeah, it might fly, but not now. I don't, and it's being phased out of other media as well. Like, it used to be the case in a lot of comics. Things like that were the norm, but yeah, not now so much. But yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see like a resurgence of kind of revenge movies or cannibal movies. I know fucking Eli Roth tried doing the Green Inferno there a while back, and Eli Roth, oh, I like him as a person, but not as a director. Oh yeah, there's no fucking way you could make those movies now. I think Antro is back.
Hi.
Hello. So I was just putting on discussion. Do you think movies like Cannibal Holocaust and Last House on the Left, and okay, I know there was remakes and stuff, but do you think in this Me Too movement age, do you think films like that would fly nowadays?
Well, I think that kind of extreme horror, you can go certain lengths if you do it with a purpose.
Just not for shock value.
Yeah, if you're gonna go to those sort of lengths of animal cruelty and sexual abuse type stuff for shock value's sake, no, you could not get away with that now.
like as I was saying, I don't think there's no real merit to that. I don't think. I don't think
No.
a female character has to suffer fucking sexual violence to empower her. I think that is it's an old kind of fucking it's an old trope.
Hmm.
It's like it's been phased out in comics and stuff like that, and in cinema, and I just don't see it flying. I was amazed that we got not only a remake but a sequel to the remake of I Spit in Your Grave, not more
Yeah.
than four. So it's yeah. Um,
That said, one of my favorite books actually does go with that sort of trope in a way, but in a way that I wasn't expecting, and it actually ended up. The characters were already, you know, fully empowered before that happened. It just was a really horrifying middle of
what
the road thing.
what's the book?
It's a book called Boring Girls. It's a book about two teenage metalheads who go down this sort of really dark path in their lives. It's one of my favorite books, if not my favorite.
Oh, I caught earlier the stream before I entered yesterday. That Neil Gaiman story. I got a lend of it off my friend with the guys going to the party in the 70s, and
Mm-hmm.
they end up picking up two chicks who are actually aliens in
Yeah.
disguise.
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen the movie, but the comic. I like the artwork because it reminds me very much of Harvey Pecker's Ghost World. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you've read that comic, but no, I definitely must give it a go.
Yeah.
But what do you think? What tropes do you think wouldn't fly today, and what tropes would you like to see come back that haven't really been around for a while?
Oh, God, let me think. Tropes that would not fly today. My mind is totally blanking on me right now. Give me just a sec. I need to move my camera.
Anyone in the chat? Any tropes you think that needs to come back? Yeah, no, Revenge of the Nerds and Animal House, like, or even Porky's, you couldn't do that. I don't even know if you could do fucking American Pie now, because like hey, here's these lovable fucking sexual deviants. Let's watch a movie about them. I don't know if it'd fly. Maybe it wouldn't. But yeah, I was just even saying that like I don't even know if you could do the likes of American Pie now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
I mean,
you've guys like fucking spying on women and jacking off their computers and like it's in this Me Too age. I genuinely don't think stuff like that would fly.
Yeah, that's never really appealed to me anyway, but you definitely couldn't do more of that now. I mean, people could try, but it would get shot down pretty fast.
Like even Kevin Smith's last movie, the Jane Silent Bob one. I thought it was very subdued, and that's saying something. It's still pretty raunchy, but I thought it was fucking a hell of a lot more subdued than like Mallrats or Clerks or even Clerks 2 from back in the day. I think bring back stop motion. Yeah, I would like to bring back stop motion. I need to actually I need to get Mike to see if he'll do any more fucking stop motion movies. Mike Taram, he's doing a real fucking really cool short movie called Wildlife in Mars. But yeah, no, I would like to see a resurgence of kind of creature sci-fi horror. like the likes of Alien. We got that with Underwater. I think for me, Underwater was so fucking was. People are saying, "Oh, it's a knockoff of Alien." It's not. It's a love letter. It is absolutely a love letter to the Alien franchise, and like it, the newer Alien movies. The problem is what made the original Alien so good. Sorry, going on the soapbox. This always happens with me, Anthro. You know me. But what made the original so good was Ridley Scott was working within a budget, and when you have a limited budget and a limited amount of resources, your brain works that bit harder to make the movie a particular aesthetic, and you have to lock yourself down to a particular look and a particular feel to the movie. With the likes of Covenant and Prometheus, he had a blank check, so he went all over the place. We were getting different fucking genres. We were getting fucking different things. John, do you want to hop on, dude? I pop that there again if anyone wants to hop on.
Yep.
But
that said, I really liked Prometheus personally. I really enjoyed that one.
There is the thing with that movie is it started off as an Alien film, then I know. Hello, dude. Have you the window with the YouTube channel open? Collector man, can you hear? Can you hear us?
Hey.
Hang on, I'm gonna try and have you your mic muted? I'm gonna try something. Unmute mic. Okay.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Hey.
Collector man.
So how are you guys doing?
We're good, dude. How many windows? How many windows are open on your computer?
I have no idea. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Okay.
I think there's an echo. Yeah, on your end.
On my end.
No. On
Yeah, I think.
end.
Try. It seems to have stopped. Try now again, dude. Oh, balls.
Technical difficulties are a thing.
Technology is supposed to make our lives busy or easier.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, have you a headphone? Have you a headphone jack for lying around? If you have a headphone jack, try using a headphone jack. This might work. Hopefully it works. Okay. But yeah, it with that movie you had a bunch of writers. The first writer got fired. It was supposed to be an Alien prequel, then it wasn't an Alien prequel, then it wasn't connected to it. I have books upon books about that movie. Then they brought on Damon Lindelof when he just finished Lost, and Damon Lindelof has a thing of making a plot really complex without knowing how he's going to finish it. Did he get the mic in? Try again. No.
Hopefully this works now.
Okay. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think it's working.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Can you hear us, dude? Oh, now we can't hear him. Shit. Fuck. Antro, do you use your phone when you're doing videos?
Yes, I do. This is pretty much all from my phone.
This is pretty much all from my phone.
I'm using a tablet,
Okay.
and it keeps like the mic keeps going out and.
Okay. Are you, dude? Are you a Collector Man? Are you on your phone or computer? Your phone, right? What? Camera? My stream has turned into charades. Are, oh, sugar. But yeah, no, where was I going? I think when you're restricted by a budget, you don't fuck around as much. That's my thinking. So you don't, when you're restricted by a budget, you work that bit harder to make the film better. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Thanks for coming by, Collector Man. Sorry. Oh,
yeah, technical difficulties are nightmare. He's a really great guy, though.
He is. He's you were telling me about him. He actually sounds like a decent bloke. I must actually. If you're still watching, dude. Okay. If you're still watching, Collector Man, I'm going to give you a wrench. How do I go about giving people wrenches? But what do you think? What do you think that what do you think is a major failing in modern Hollywood movies? What do you think? Like, be it soundtracks or advertising or the like.
I'm gonna sound like a broken record when it comes to a lot of people, but I feel like digital effects are amazing now, but people just only rely on digital effects now, and people need to bring back other things mixed with the digital. Yeah.
I was saying this, and like when I say I have a love for practical effects, that doesn't mean that I don't see the use and that there is an artistic merit in the use of digital effects. There needs to be a marriage. There needs to be a balance.
Exactly.
Like I love Peter Jackson's. I think a prime example of it would be Peter Jackson. The difference between Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings to The Hobbit. Whereas in the original Lord of the Rings movies, the orcs and the Uruk-hai and stuff, they were practical, they were makeup effects. Whereas in the newer movies, it seemed that all the creatures were digitally rendered. And I'm like, that's why. It obviously is a kind of Antro, if you think if you've any brainstorms on how Collector Man might be able to come back and if you've any, like, has that ever happened to you? Like, would it be that he had a window open in the background, or like
I don't know. It might have been that he had a couple windows open. I didn't catch
what happened?
Which device were you streaming from again? Did he say?
Because I'd be happy to have him back. I just if he could, I think he said his phone. Again, no, but like I think where you can do something practical, do it practical, like with makeup effects, or if a creature is human size, like use a creature suit or use an animatronic, and then where it's like a big pullback shot. Again, the best, and I stand by this, two best uses of marriages between CG and practical is both James Cameron's Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park. Again, it's like for some of the close-ups on the T-Rex, you had the head. Stan Winston built a complete creature, and then for some of the more advanced shots where they had to have the creature in the rain, it was CG. You didn't have to like fucking hedge your bets with one or the other. Collector Man, I'm assuming, Antro, you know this guy better than me. I'm assuming he gets his name because he's a sufficient collection of stuff.
Yes, he has.
What's your poison, sir? Is it action figures or movies or posters or all of the above?
I don't want to speak for the guy himself, but I'd say he's an all of the above guy.
Okay. Do you think would he give me a run for my money? Do you think?
I don't know.
Because you've seen my room. You've seen my room, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I've even seen the full extent of his collection yet, but he's got a fair amount of stuff. It does tend to focus more on like specifically like Halloween oriented horror type stuff from what I've seen.
I noticed that. I noticed he had a couple of really cool Michael Myers figures and stuff like that. Come here, I'm gonna hand the stream slightly over to you, right? So, okay, you've been on YouTube for a year, right? So, what do you hope for the next year? What do you hope to accomplish? What do you hope to any particular things to do with your channel? Anything you'd like to try and push, or anything you think you could really kind of like, anything you want to kind of push the limits with your editing or kind of video making, or maybe do intros or a sketch or.
One thing I've really been trying to do is I've been posting some music stuff, like mostly acoustic covers and a few clips of my band when we've played live, but I want to actually do some covers that are a bit more like professionally recorded with like separate audio tracks and like a more of a band setup type thing with.
Do you want to use your channel kind of like a multi-headed hydra, whereas like you're going to review the movies, but you're also going to push music, and you're going to have in between maybe a focus on kind of horror and music in the kind of Trident effect, kind of basically.
Yeah, my little sort of description that I put under in the about section of my channel, on my Instagram page, on my Twitter, is lover of horror, metal, and all things macabre. So that's what I try to cover, sort of the movies, the books, the music, and sort of that just sort of general world of darkness and where it all sort of comes together.
I know you're on Twitter, but if someone wasn't a fan, I don't know why, of using YouTube, would there be another place they could check out your music? Have you a Discord? Have you an Instagram? Have you videos uploaded somewhere else that, like, you know?
I've mostly just uploaded my music to YouTube. I did have an account on a website called Ballad where I've posted a lot of sort of experiments of multi-tracking music, but that app has been kind of sketchy for me recently.
Okay. I want you at the end of the stream to PM me links to your playlists of music, because I'm gonna fucking slap them on to this put the description here so people can check out your stuff.
Okay.
Because I'll have to wait till the stream is over to update you, but yeah, no, his music covers are fucking awesome. And,
Thank you.
And anyone who is watching who hasn't checked out his music covers, watch them, or I'll call over to your house and drink all your fucking booze. I'm a dirty fucking Irishman. No, seriously, do watch Antro's music. It's a lovely lad, and it's nice to support lovely people. Yeah, but again, where were we? I was trying to keep the chat very chill. I think maybe I knuckled it down too much. But what do you think? What do you think the horror, both the horror community and horror cinema landscape will be like if? Well, no, not if. When? I'm going to be optimistic. When we come out at the other end of this COVID thing, You think the kind of horror landscape? You think we're going to be getting a lot of movies about viruses and fucking post-apocalyptic shit because of?
I'd like
Go
to
on, go on.
hope I'd like to hope the opposite, because people are so sick of that. We're like, now that we're out here, we're gonna make this like not this little tiny cramped movie about quarantine and isolation. We're gonna make a big sweeping horror movie set in the woods or something.
Yeah, I do think people will be sick of being stuck in the most mundane zombie apocalypse storyline ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
It turns out the zombies can't enter your house. They're kind of a combination of the vampires from the Lost Boys. Cocooning the movie.
Yeah. It's just like vampires. You have to invite them in.
And before that, they can't.
Speaking of which,
yeah.
have you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
I love that fucking movie. It's just like, what are you doing? I'm doing my dark bidding. Dark bidding. I'm bidding on the table. The fucking werewolves. What?
Mm-hmm.
Are those new jeans? Why are you wearing new jeans? You're gonna make shit of them when you transform.
Yeah.
I taught you a combination lock. You're not gonna be able to find the fucking key when you transform. Everyone always does the swearwolves thing, and I love that, but like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the name of the real fucking the real Dracula, the real Vlad the Impaler character? What's his called? Deacon. Is it Deacon? No, Deacon is the dirty gypsy. I don't know which one is Deacon again.
God, there's
you know the one I'm talking about, where they're all.
There's
like
Iago, there's Deacon. Then you've got the Nosferatu Peter, who's my favorite. But
hey, how you doing, Dino? What was I going to say to you again? But yeah, no, the main thing I kind of would be saying about that movie is it's a perfect comedy kind of horror, because it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it knows the lore inside and fucking out. It's just it's one of those it's one of those movies that it's both mocking but paying reverence to what it's mocking.
It's done with love, which is the best way to do a horror comedy.
Yeah, just oh fuck, he's talking about the beast again. I fought the beast in the castle. I fought the beast in the swamp. I fought the beast in the public toilets of that nightclub. It's like
yeah. One of my favorite jokes is when this is why I brought up the movie, actually, when they're going to the bar and asking to be invited in, and the person's just like looking at them like they're completely insane.
Just come in.
Like, just walk through the door. No, you have to invite us in.
Like the thing is, and the TV show, I thought I was a bit hit or miss with it, but the TV show is actually fairly funny as well. Have you seen the one with the Vampire Council with Danny Trejo, Tilda Swinton, Paul Rubens, and who else? Fucking she played Dolores in Westworld, red-haired chick. Oh fuck, I forget her name. Basically, they're the Vampire Council, and the lads are being yeah, thanks a million, Dino. The lads have been kind of like they're being bought for vampire murder and were brought up for vampire murder. And it's like, oh, could we get Tom and Brad? No. Because apparently everyone who played a vampire in a movie, they're actually a vampire. But they're like, could we get Tom and Brad? No, they didn't want to turn up. What about Kiefer? Kiefer wanted to come, but I think it's his father's bar mitzvah. And he goes, good news, we got Wesley, and it's Wesley Snipes on Skype. He's like, Danny Trejo's like, he's a daywalker. He's only half vampire. I'll only accept half his vote. Have you watched the show yet?
I hate to say it because I'm a huge What We Do in the Shadows fan and just a huge vampire fan, but I haven't gotten around to the show yet. The clips I've seen though are hysterical.
It's brilliant. There's another one. There's a Bordello of Blood. That's okay. I enjoy it, but I think when it comes to vampire strippers or prostitutes, Vamp. Everyone says From Dusk Till Dawn or Bordello of Blood, but I think Vamp always gets overlooked because it's just that you have Grace Jones as Queen of the Vampires, and if there ever was going to be anyone to play Queen of the Vampires, it was Grace Jones, you know. Well, yeah, I'm trying to think other kind of horror comedies that are good that don't get enough. Yeah, again, I don't hate Bordello of Blood. I just think it was really bad kind of follow up to Demon Knight. Demon Knight's a funny fucking horror comedy. I absolutely loved. Have you seen Demon Knight, Antro?
I actually haven't, which is a shame.
I thought Billy Zane was the best. Fucking imagine Billy Zane's performance was fantastic, and the reason is he doesn't give a shit, and he's having so much fun. He's like, imagine the genie in the animated series of Aladdin was evil. That's Billy Zane in that movie. It's pretty funny. Also, Dick Miller's in it. Anything with Dick Miller. Actually, I know my favorite horror comedy, Night of the Creeps. Tom Atkins have you seen Night of the Creeps?
No.
Okay. So, Night of the Creeps is an alien invasion zombie slasher movie. Okay, where in the 1950s, an alien parasite comes down and infects a serial killer who a cop kills because his girlfriend is murdered by him, and then fucking in the 80s, two guys in a fraternity as part of a hazing prank bring this zombie guy back to life. It's fucking ridiculous. My favorite line in it is these parasites infect all these jocks, and they're on the way to pick up their girlfriends for the prom. And Tom Atkins is like a cop, and he's inside, and he's telling, lock that door and stuff. And like he looks out the window, and he goes, "I got good news and bad news, girls." And they're like, "What's the good news?" "Good news is your dates are here." "What's the bad news?" "They're dead." I love that line. It's so fucking cheesy.
Yeah. All right, horror comedies. Have you seen Anna and the Apocalypse, which came out a couple years ago?
No, is it a zombie movie musical set during Christmas?
Yes,
I've seen
it
the
is.
trailer. I haven't watched it yet. I gotta check it out though.
It's so good, so good.
Like I was a bit kind of skeptical about it being a musical, but because I like musicals, but I don't know, would it detract from the horror? Does the horror get sidelined as a result?
No, because you do have some like straight horror moments that are completely absent of musical numbers, but then you'll get like this Eye of the Tiger style song, but it's just a montage of these guys killing zombies, and it's beautiful.
Is Microwave Massacre a musical, or is it just a horror comedy? I know. On your recommendation, Andrew, I'll give it a go. I'm kind of skeptical on kind of zombie comedies, or zombies as they're now being called, because of there was this shit movie I watched. My cousin thought I'd like it, called Warm Bodies, It's like
Oh,
a
I've heard of that.
it's a romantic
Some
comedy with
rom-com.
zombies.
Yeah,
It's
I've heard of
it's
that.
it's not good. Life After Beth is kind of okay. Dane DeHaan and Audrey Plaza, but there's something about it that trying to think.
Yeah. Well, the thing
What?
about Anna and the Apocalypse that makes that movie work is that there's lots of ridiculous comedy and there's fun musical numbers, but the zombies are never part of the humor. They are always played straight. Sometimes there are like kills where they're kind of jokey a little bit, like one of them gets their head stuck through like
A plastic snowman or Santa, or I seen one of them go around with like he's encased in a fucking Santa costume or
Oh yeah, there's a drunk mall Santa that gets zombified, and another guy in a snowman outfit, but that's just like incidental because everybody's been partying way too hard for Christmas. But the zombies are played straight. It's all of the other characters that are kind of playing off of them with all of their zany humor, but they never try to make the zombies like sing or do a joke or anything like that.
so the zombies aren't the butt of the joke. Because you know your music, I respect your opinion. So what are your thoughts on Rocky Horror and Sweeney Todd, not Queenie? What's your thoughts on Sweeney Todd and Rocky Horror? Worth the hype, or
I mean, I absolutely love both of those. Looking at Rocky Horror, that one, it's just fun. It's not my absolute favorite music in the world, but it is just fun, sort of 70s glam rock, and it really is more about just the experience of watching the movie with some friends, preferably, and the whole just sort of wild, trashy aesthetic of the thing.
have you gotten to see it in the cinema? Have you gotten True Rice at the stage and
I actually went to a Shadowcast performance of the movie. That was my first experience seeing it. It was great.
And was there audience members dressed up?
Yes, all over the place. Lots and lots of Frankenfurters everywhere.
Like from your opinion, is there any fellas that shouldn't be allowed to wear fishnet tights, bombing around and that? Could you not? Was there any guys you could tell which was the fishnet and which was the hair on the top?
I don't know. I think everybody should have the right to wear fishnets.
I don't have the legs for it. If I wore fishnets, man, you know when you get like a big lamb shank or a pork shank in that kind of netting, and it's like the meat is being squeezed out through it, that'd be my legs. Because of Queenie, I keep on mispronouncing it. Sweeney Todd.
Oh, yeah.
What's your thoughts on Sweeney Todd?
I mean, I absolutely adore both the play version and the movie version. My thing with the movie is they do cut it down for films purposes, and they take out all the ensemble numbers. So my favorite song from the original musical, which is the Ballad of Sweeney Todd, just loses all of its lyrics, which makes me sad, but it's still a really good movie, and all of the music is just really, really dark. There's and it's just really well orchestrated as well. Lots of complex overlapping vocal stuff.
I almost didn't like that movie, but there's a scene where he cuts the guy's throats and he pulls the lever, and just the way the bodies smack the ground underneath, just that made me go, okay, this movie has a pair of balls. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Oh, sorry, dude. Go on.
Oh, it's all right. I was going to say one of my favorite scenes in that movie is when Sweeney Todd is singing about seeing his daughter again, and he's singing, "Oh, look, Joanna, a star," and he's just like in this total happy place, and meanwhile he's slitting someone's throat and they're falling into the pit. It's just this perfect juxtaposition.
Is he a good singer? Can he hold a tune? I can't tell. I'm not.
I think so. I think it's a rougher voice, but it fits with the character that he's meant to be playing. It's not a
He's
trained
definitely
voice.
better.
But
He's definitely better than fucking Russell Crowe in Les Mis. Oh,
Ooh.
Jesus. I adored Les Mis. I actually liked
Mhm.
Les Mis, the musical. I think Anne Hathaway fucking killed it with I Dream a Dream. And Hugh Jackman, which is no surprise because Hugh Jackman started off in musicals. He done a production of Oklahoma. And yeah, no, just Depp has some musical background, but it's mainly was he a bass guitarist for a while?
He's actually a full-on guitarist. He actually has a cover band that he's in right now with Alice Cooper and Joe Perry called the Hollywood Vampires, and they do classic rock cover songs. I have a vinyl of one of their albums.
It sounds like a fucking offshoot from Velvet Revolver.
Sort of. Well, they all Depp and Alice Cooper met on the set of Dark Shadows, which is Tim Burton's worst movie, but the best part of that movie is that Alice Cooper
He came out. Yeah, go see the Cooper woman. I love that line. That actually made me chuckle. Oh fuck. Dogstar. Have you ever checked out Dogstar? Keanu Reeves band.
I have not.
Keanu Reeves has a band called Dogstar. He I don't know. I don't know if they do any fucking Wild Stallions covers, but that's a movie I'm looking forward to. The next Bill and Ted.
When it comes to celebrities and actors specifically doing music, though, Christopher Lee put out some symphonic metal albums, singing.
I heard that, and like I read I don't know if it was a joke or anything. It's like a list of categories. He what was it? He fought in World War II. He played Dracula, Saruman, and Sith Lord, and he opened for Metallica. Apparently, he opened for Metallica at one stage. Is that Metallica or Slipknot? I don't know.
I don't know if he opened for Metallica. I hadn't heard that, but he did guest vocals on a couple different albums. On a Manowar album, he did some narration on a Manowar album, and then he did a duet with the vocalist for Rhapsody, and then he put out a concept album about King Charlemagne.
Okay, I gotta check that out. If you want,
pretty good.
Do you want an absolute fucking gut buster of a chuckle, right? There's a Peter Pan musical for kids, right? And it was made for the Disney Channel. And it's a musical, okay? Guess who plays Captain Hook and sings in it?
I have no idea.
Christopher Walken. I'm gonna find the link and I'm gonna send it to you. And I'm about
this I need.
But Walken. Share. Sent. Hey, Zach. I thought he was okay in the Jungle Book, Tino. I thought he was all right. So
the new book.
Yeah, he played King Louis in the Jungle Book.
That was such a weird scene to me because like there's been no music in that
I want to be like you. I want to talk like you, walk like you.
Yeah, because it's so weird because out of the blue, there's been no musical numbers like in the original until then, and then suddenly you've got Christopher fucking Walken. I want to be like you at you.
Didn't Bill Murray did do the bare necessities though in that movie?
I've only seen that once, so I don't.
No, he did. I think there's a scene where Mowgli is like on Baloo's belly while they're like floating down a river, and he sins the bare necessities stuff. But
I vaguely remember that now.
yeah, I'm Jen. I'm not singing and dancing. I'm not. I have bad cartilage. I can't. I don't want anyone's ears to fucking bleed. Okay. Horror movies that center around a rock band or a rock group.
Deathgasm. Have you seen Deathgasm?
No, I heard about it though. I do gotta check it out. You were saying that the zombies, the creatures in them are very deadite, so I definitely gotta check that one out. Have you seen a movie called Zero and Wild Seven?
I have not.
It's a Japanese hair metal rock band that hunts zombies, and the lead singer turns into a woman whenever he wants to infiltrate a nightclub. It's the weirdest. It's a weird fucking movie.
I can't. Wow.
If it was on, I can buy it. It was on the top 10 releases of Tartan Asian Extreme. I think it's Wild 0 and 7 or Wild 7 and 0. I gotta check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Zero. Is it? Yeah, Wild 0. Okay, so the plot is the film stars Masashi Endo as Ace, a big fan of a Japanese rock group called Guitar Wolf. After assisting the group, Guitar Wolf makes Ace his blood brother and gives him a whistle during which he can call him at times of trouble. Have you seen that one?
No, but I have heard Guitar Wolf because I was in a pop culture class my junior year, and my teacher for that class was in love with Guitar Wolf, just the band. Never even seen the movie. He just loved that band for some reason.
Are they an actual fucking legitimate band?
They're a legit band. They're a legit band, and they just happen to star in this movie.
I think they fight zombies, and one of them can transform into a woman or something. It's been ages since I fucking seen it. Oh man. Would you put The Crow into that category? I know the comic, but
in terms of like
would you classify it as rock horror? You have a musician who comes back from the dead.
I could put it there. It really does have that sort of merging of like goth and punk and industrial music of the 90s in its soundtrack. And you've got My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult playing in the club in that one scene, and this band at the center of it. Plus, James O'Barr, who wrote the comic, he's got band posters all over his walls.
Oh yeah, that guy is a pure fucking metaler and rocker from the 80s. Collector Man, is that the one where when the band plays at the end, everyone turns into a fucking a zombie, or is it the one with Thor? I think Dice done a review of it with Thor.
That one's Rock and Roll Nightmare. That's
Which one's Trick or Treat? Is Trick or Treat the one where everyone turns into a kind of a deadite looking marionette at the end? And there's a song.
Sure.
There's another one. I always get it mixed up with a movie called Hack-O-Lantern, where this guy has a dream that he's in a rock band, and like he fucking, you're the devil's son, and he's like shooting people with lasers coming out of his guitar. I always mix up. I can't tell which one's Trick or Treat and which one's Hack-O-Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, which Collector Man? What happens in Trick or Treat, or do you know, Antro?
If I'm remembering, because I I haven't actually seen Trick or Treat all the way through, but I know it's like one of those ultimate like classic 80s horror metal movies. In that movie, there's a kid who's a metalhead, and his idol ends up dying, but he ends up having transposed his soul into this record, and whenever the kid plays it backwards, he can hear his voice, and the dead rocker starts infiltrating his life, basically.
In a way, I don't know if you could classify it as that as well, but in a way, does that mean The Gate is a rock and roll fucking horror movie? Because the guys decipher what's happening through it by playing a record backwards.
I mean, in a sense, yeah.
Yeah, you got it in one. Collector Man says you got it in one, Antro.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and yeah, Ozzy Osbourne is in it as this like televangelist denouncing heavy metal, which is hysterical.
That's fucking brilliant. That's like if fucking Ron Jeremy was like a priest giving out about porn. That'd be. Oh man, Antro, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here because it's going on 2 a.m. for me. Dude, thanks a million for joining me, and thanks to everyone else who attempted to join. I don't know if there was an issue on my end or their end. I'm sorry you couldn't participate, but thank you for staying tuned. Collector Man, Jennifer, everyone else who tuned in, thanks a million. You kick ass. Again, this young man has been on the platform for a fucking year, and his content is light years fucking ahead of mine, so definitely fucking check him out. Instead of looking at a fucking 36-year-old man playing with toys, watch an actual talented young man play fucking music. So, I am going to dust off. My name is Martin. I've been the Trash Picture Show. This has been Anthropomatic Fiend. Check out his channel. If you don't, I'll hunt you down and kill you. Have a good one. Take care. Bye now. Hey.